The other day when I posted the video about what is a documentary or what is documentary filmmaking, it triggered a question from one of you, and they asked, like, what is the difference between documentary and reality show? Now, in this episode today, delve in and stay tuned with me, because I'm going to discuss some of the key differences, because I know there's a thin line between what is a documentary and what is a reality show, because I know these things, they deal with real life issues, and most of them, they are very unscripted, and also they tell events that are very, very connected to, like, the real life, okay, that we're experiencing. So to start us off, I'm talking about the definition of a documentary. A documentary, what is a documentary? A documentary is just a non-fictional film that aims to educate, inform, preserve history, or bring awareness and talk about people, events, and real issues. Okay, so it's basically rooted on research, and it tells the story is driven by the filmmaker's point of view. That is a documentary for you. Now, when it comes to reality is just an entertainment program or an entertainment show where real people are placed in a structured or semi-structured situation, and their reactions are filmed. Yes. So for instance, you might decide to take me and other filmmakers in a room. We watch a movie. They record our reactions and we react to it, and that becomes a reality show. How we are reacting to certain movies, how we are reacting to certain shows. So let's now delve into understanding the key differences. And these key differences, I'll categorize them into parts. The first part is the intent and purpose. So the intent and purpose, this is the intention. What is the intention of you doing that show or you doing that particular film you're making? So number one, for documentary, they are meant to explore the truth, raise awareness, and preserve history. That is the purpose. Because we are doing a documentary to do what? To raise awareness of a certain issue, or maybe preserve certain history, or you want to explore the truth, like what was the truth behind this person doing this thing, or you're following a person and their life and stuff like that. But yeah. Then when it comes to reality, intent and purpose for reality shows is to entertain through drama, challenges, and social dynamics. Like, just to give entertainment, like how people talk, how people react to certain issues, how people behave in a certain social dynamics, social spaces or dynamic spaces, and how they respond to challenges of life, or many things. Then the other difference, I'll categorize it in form of structure and scripting, like how the structure or maybe the show or the documentary is done. So for documentaries, of course, documentary follow real life events, or they revisit. They take footage and revisit how events unfolded up to that particular time, or up to that particular point of the story the filmmaker is intending to tell that story. So they'll do a real life, they follow it up, or maybe maybe you're documenting about the things that were happening in the past, and now you get people to interview people, and you start looking at how everything happened from the beginning to where the story is unfolding. And we've seen that with many documentaries around, for those who watch documentaries, and we appreciate that. Then the other thing, now when it comes to reality shows, they most of them are very unscripted. Of course, there is a guide. They are provided a guide, and people are put in situations whereby the scenarios are very structured. So unaweza amua kama ni show, unasema this is a reality show of people cooking, and these people will be cooking in a kitchen and in a hotel, or maybe in a home or in a house. So the reality bit is they are doing it in a certain scenario that is a bit controlled, and the outcomes are very guided. Like how the reaction will be, it is guided by the director. The director will give guidance of how the show is supposed to come out or how the reactions are supposed to come out, based on how the intention of entertainment is supposed to unfold. Then the other difference we're going to look at is the editing style. Editing style for documentaries often follows interviews, voiceovers, and archival footage. So that is the editing style. Like kuna kamtu kanaongea hapo about da, so alafu akishaongea wanaeka to b-rolls nini, and then kuna voiceover whereby there is somebody who is narrating the whole story, and then there is also archival footage. These are footage that were recorded maybe as it were recorded during that real time. This especially when you are revisiting that moment, you want to see what happened in the past. So you have those archival footage, or these are footage zenye haukuwa nazo, but there's somebody who has them, who recorded during that event, and they can be able to share. Then for reality, it is often done through fast cuts, music, and reaction. So reactions to bring that bit of dramatic effect. It's with reality, haina a lot of things, like in as much as you'll see interviews, but you'll see a lot of fast cut situations, like scenarios, like vitu zina flashes, zina kitu imeenda huku imetoka, hata by the time unafollow kutoka huku umerudi huku umerushwa huku, and many things that are happening during that time. It's a bit chaotic, I can say, but it's usually also a bit not very some things don't look very real because they look very much placed, but yeah, it's called a reality show. So what do we call it again? Can't call it scripted show, but that is the style of doing the cuts. So you do those bit of cuts and stuff like that, and combine with music and reactions of those people. So when somebody does something, somebody is reacting, and this is reacting through an interview. Maybe ana react venye, if you watch this my Nairobi Diaries, Young, Rich and Famous, you watch this What of LA, Love is Blind or Where, those many things. Normally those interviews that are recorded, they're usually the reactions. So inaweza kuwa like msee alipika food, ni kuonja food, anaenda anachukua chakula anaonja, na maybe ni reality show ya kuonyesha venye hii chakula useme kama ni ya bibi yako ama mama yako ndo amepika, and then the person who is onjaring, and then they say hii ni ya mom alafu kumbe ni bibi yako alipika. But anyway, so those reaction interviews, that they want to bring the dramatic effect. So kuna that bit of tension, and then blow up. Then production approach, like now the difference in production. So documentaries, they shoot over a long period of time, and they use a very small crew. For reality show, they shoot with multiple cameras, and they create a controlled environment. That one is, it is very controlled. It's not something that you just wake up and tell people, let's go and shoot. No. They have to be, the scenarios are very much controlled by the director. So, what do you prefer? Doing a reality or doing a documentary? Let me know in the comment section. And remember, this is about your audience. The audience you're targeting to tell this story. This is what matters, and they will drive the style of doing your show. Either you're doing it in form of a documentary or a reality. And I believe I've answered the person who asked, and now they're able to understand what the difference, the major difference of a reality show and a documentary, what they are. So, having said that, I believe you guys are also making films, or you're in the process of doing pre-production and in readiness to creating stories and telling films. So until next time, stay tuned, stay put, and join me on my next class as we continue to delve and understand things to do with filmmaking and film classes. And very soon I'm bringing up a masterclass, and be ready you'll be informed. I'll be informing you about how we are going to do it, because we are going to do a physical masterclass where I want to discuss a lot. I want to discuss with you a lot of things in terms of how we need to understand the storytelling in the African perspective. I love Africa. Africa is my motherland. Africa is a very beautiful place, and it has beautiful stories which the world has not had. And I believe if we begin this journey, we are going to tell those African beautiful stories that the world will be looking forward to listen and hear and read about them and watch them. Until next time, stay tuned and stay put. Cheers!